Hello there, it's Fabienne, and we sometimes have a lot more time at home. And I want to show you what I'm making for lunch today. The people who know me really, really well, like my daughter who is filming right now, everybody knows that I like to make stock. I have always got, and my daughter is nodding her head, I've always got some chicken stock going, and sometimes I make shrimp stock and all of that. So I just want to show you this. I am in the midst of making a pasta sauce with shrimp. And this is one of the most delicious sauces. I think we were talking about this last night.
I requested this.
Yeah, she did request this. And so I just want you to know how I do it. I bought a pound of shrimp with heads on, what do you call that? Shells intact. And they were already cooked. And I took all, this is going to sound weird for some people, but I took all the heads off the shrimp and I put it in water with a little bit of wine, like, I don't know, maybe like quarter cup of wine, just like some very affordable wine. And I've got some bay leaves. I always have like some bay leaf things here. I put a shallot in there. I put a half a head of garlic. These are the like small heads of garlic. And it's kind of been just simmering away for about an hour. It was up here, as you can see, and it reduced. And then I'm going to strain it in just a moment. And I'm going to add, I bought this in Italy. I'm going to add some, what do you call this? It's in Italian. Paste. It's like concentrated tomato paste. Yeah, some tomato paste. I'm going to put this whole thing. And once it's been strained, and then I'm going to add some heavy cream and just salt and pepper. And what that's going to do is and I'm going to reduce it, and it's going to make two things. We can either sometimes eat it as a soup, so like a shrimp bisque, and I do this with langoustines and lobster also, because this is really one of my favorite. And then when we've not finished the whole soup, I use it as a pasta sauce. It's really delicious, and sometimes I'll grate with my microplane grater, which is not here, it must be in the dishwasher. I know this is messy, but I cook literally every meal myself, so it is not a pretty kitchen, but it is a very useful kitchen. So grate some garlic in there. Sometimes I think, should I make it? And then we'll show them what it looks like as a pasta sauce. All right, see you in a minute. Okay, so I have strained this, but I'm gonna keep this because we're gonna make 2 meals out of this. I'm going to take the shells off the shrimp and put the shrimp shells in here and do another stock for another purpose, and we're gonna use the shrimp today. That'll probably be a soup. So I've, what do you call this? I've strained the stock, and now I'm going to add this tomato paste that I talked to you about. And with my wire wrist, of course, I am not wearing, what do you call that? A apron. I'm not wearing one, but this I'm going to bring to the boil. And this is gonna go down for a few minutes, but I'm gonna show you actually now how to do it. Like the magic of television. And I'm gonna put some heavy cream. Now this looks like a lot, right? But this is going to be used in a couple of different ways. Like this is probably enough for 2 different pasta sauces. So I'll use one today at lunch, and I will use one. I'll put half of it in the freezer for another night, maybe next week, for a different kind of pasta. So we're gonna warm this up. You gotta have a little glass of wine while you're cooking. That's what my husband just brought me. And I'll show you how I make a sauce with it in just a moment. Okay, so now I have peeled shrimp. I've cut the shrimp. This is 1 pound of shrimp. This might not seem like it's enough for a family of 5 and leftovers, but it is because we've cut it up. So here's what we're gonna do. First, we are going to heavily salt our pasta water. This is, you want to make it really nice and salty so that the pasta itself soaks up the salt. So I'm going to just stir this. And while I do that, while this goes up to the final boil before we add the pasta, we're gonna put the shrimp. So remember, these are the shrimp heads that we already used for one sauce. And now we're gonna make another one. Never throw the shrimp shells away. What happens when somebody throws the shrimp shells away by mistake?
Gets very upset.
I get so upset, I cry.
Heartbroken.
That's like 2 meals right there. So delicious, so delicious. Okay, so here I put, as you can tell, I put a half a chili.
Yay.
Your little brother doesn't like the chilies that much, so we
But I
only
do.
put a half. And then this is where I use this is one of my favorite tools in the kitchen. I don't even like the ones with the handles. They're not as fine as this microplane grater, and this is actually how I use it. I take the whole thing without grating my own fingers, because that's not as tasty. You just kind of move your fingers around and kind of grate the whole thing. I put this part in here, and then this, you've seen me do this so many times. The garlic is there.
Yeah.
Up. There you go. That's how I do it.
Beautiful.
A little piment d'Espelette, which is Espelette, what do you call it? Spicy goodness. I just put a little bit like this. Put it in here. And I'm not going to add the shrimp right away because it's already cooked and it would be overly cooked. So I will season this with salt. I already put pepper, so no need to. This will go in last minute. And the reason I'm doing this in a wok style pan, I'm kind of doing what the Italians do, is they cook their pasta. This is De Cecco Fusilli, one of the best pasta brands that I really enjoy. If it says to cook it for 9 minutes, I'll cook it for 7 minutes, and then I'll put it in this large sauce thing to cook the last 2 minutes, so it soaks up all the goodness. I'll show you that in just a moment. All right, so pasta is about almost cooked, maybe another 2 minutes, and I'm putting it. Notice that I'm taking it with a, what do you call these things?
No idea.
Like a hand strainer or whatever. I put the sauce on full blast now, and I'm moving this instead of straining the entire pasta. I'm just going by hand like this, because if I need some more pasta water, at least that one will be starchy. You can see that our second batch of shrimp stock is going, and now I am adding the shrimp. Trying to be funny, huh?
So funny.
So funny. Oop. There you go. And so that's going to warm up the shrimp.
Oh,
Doesn't that look good?
that's so good.
And I decided to use the whole batch of sauce because the last couple of minutes, this is just going to soak up the sauce. It's going to be, so see how a pound of shrimp in the end can be. I did add one more clove of garlic. I do have to tell you. So if you like saffron, you can add some saffron to this. But honestly, as a family, we're good with this. So that's what we're having for lunch today.
Yes, and chili flakes on mine.
And chili flakes on yours. And lots of love from the Fredericksons.